friends, welcome to Tech Blooms. In this video we'll be doing about semiconductor diode characteristics. Now, if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click the bell icon for more updates. Now before moving into the diode characteristics, let's look at the carrier flow in a semiconductor. The carrier flow in a semiconductor is the total flow of semiconductor is the sum of three flow phenomena, that is the drift, diffusion and recombination. Okay, now a motion of motion of the charge carriers in a semiconductor is directed by two mechanisms. One is the the charge drift under the influence of an electric field, and the second one is diffusion of charge from a higher density to a lower density. Okay, so first we'll look at what about drift. What is drift? Then we'll go to diffusion and recombination in steps. Now what do you mean by drift? Drift in a semiconductor, when a semiconductor has no electric field applied. Whenever a semiconductor has no electric field applied, what happens is that the conduction electrons or holes have a random motion inside the crystal, which leads to the net velocity equal to 0. But the same conductor, when we apply an electric field, when it's subjected to electric field, what happens to these conduction electrons? They attain a directed motion, and as a result what happens, the net average velocity is v, is also called as the drift velocity. So this is the drift velocity. This drift velocity that is v is directly proportional to the electric field E. So to remove the proportionality constant, we will introduce a proportionality constant, that is mu, where mu is nothing but the mobility of the carriers. Either it can be of electrons as well as the holes. Now here since mu is the mobility, we'll see the total current density due to the hole in electron drift. What will be the total current density? Total current density due to electron and hole drift. Now due to electron and hole drift, the total current density will be J equal to the total current density will be the current density due to electron drift plus the current density due to hole drift. Now first we will compute the densities individually. So Je, that is electron density, will be nothing but the charge of electron into the mobility of the electron, that is mu E, okay, and into the electron density, that is N, into the electric field E. So now here what is mu E? Mu E is the mobility of electrons, E is the electric field, N is the electron density, okay, and E is the electric field. Similarly, the whole density will be equal to, charge into mu H, that is the mu H is the mobility. How you have mobility of electrons, similarly mu H is nothing but mobility of holes, into here P, the electron density, similarly hole density into E. P is nothing but the hole density. So let's sum up this. Je and Ja, we have found the current density due to electron drift and current density due to hole drift. So let's combine them. We'll get the total current density due to hole and electron drift, that is E mu E N into E plus E mu H P into E. Now since we have E and E common, we'll take the small e this side, that will be mu E N plus mu H P into capital E. So this is the total current density due to electron and hole drift in a semiconductor. Okay. Next we'll be looking about the diffusion. This is the second phenomena which takes place, which comes into consideration of flow in semiconductor. Now what is the diffusion? Basically diffusion is a gradual flow of charge from a region of high density to a region of low density. Okay, it's a gradual flow of charge from a region of high density to a region of low density. Now this leads to an electric current without the effect of an electrical field. Okay, without the benefit of an electric field. Now this flow this electric current is directly proportional to the density gradient, okay, carrier density gradient. Now what is carrier density gradient? So this current which is there, it's directly proportional to the carrier density gradient. Carrier density gradient. Let's see what is carrier density gradient for electron as well as the hole. Now we have seen what is the diffusion. It's the flow of it's a gradual flow of charges from a region of high density to a region of low density. So now we'll see what is the current density due to hole diffusion as well as the electron diffusion. Now what is due to hole diffusion? What will be the current density? It is minus E, charge of electron, into dH, that is the diffusion constant, into dP by dx. So I've told you what is dP by dx is nothing but the carrier density gradient of holes. Since it is P, that is hole density, it's a carrier density gradient. Gradient is basically the derivative of the hole density. Similarly, we have JE, that is the current density due to electron diffusion, is nothing but E, this is dH, okay, dE dN by dx. Here dN by dx is nothing but the carrier density gradient of electrons. So N is the electron density. Now this diffusion leads to the redistribution of the charge carriers in a semiconductor, which leads to a potential difference between the different parts of the semiconductor. Now next we'll look at the recombination, which is the third phenomena which occurs in the semiconductor. Okay, now this occurs in a semiconductor usually which results because of the collision of the electron with hole, and the recombination rate is directly proportional to the carrier concentration. More the carrier concentration, the recombination rate will be more. It's directly proportional to the carrier concentration. Total flow in a semiconductor is the sum of the three flow, that is the drift velocity, drift plus diffusion plus recombination. So now let's look at the semiconductor diode. What is the semiconductor diode? Basically, it's a semiconductor diode is constructed by bringing a p-type and n-type material together. Okay, so as you can see in this figure, p-type and n-type together, and this is the schematic symbol. This is a symbol of a diode with a P and N, p-type and n-type. P is the positive and N is the negative. Now at the instant these two materials, are joined. The electron and holes in this in the region of junction will combine. They will combine in resulting in the lack of carriers in this junction, and the region of uncovered positive and negative charges. Now since here the electrons will combine, they results in the immobile ions which lead to a depletion region, and it due to the depletion of the carriers in this region. Now you can see this is a diode symbol. Now here the flow of current is from positive to negative, and it is generated by ID, and the drop across this is called a VD. Now here the characteristics of a diode are similar to that of a switch. Now you can assume a switch to be connected like this, right? When you close the switch, the current will flow in only one direction. So similar way, the flow of current in a direction is only in one direction. Okay, in a diode is only in one direction. Now this is a graphical representation of diode. Now in diode graph is the ID versus VD. In that, here the diode is in forward bias, the ID is from P to N, the current flows from P to N, and in this case the current flows from N to P, that is the reverse biased. Okay, so let's look at the biasing conditions. Now before going to the biasing, let's derive some equations related to the diode forward resistance. Now from Ohm's law we know that V is equal to IR, right? Similar way, we'll have a diode forward resistance. Now since the current is flowing, there will be some resistors opposing the current in the reverse bias. So we'll see what is that. Now from the Ohm's law we can see that the diode forward resistance RF will be equal to, this is the diode forward resistance, RF is equal to the forward voltage upon the forward current in milliamperes. Now since the current is flowing, the forward voltage will be equal to 0 and it is upon IF. So what is the resistance? The resistance is 0 ohms. So RF is the forward resistance is 0. That means the current is flowing. It's a short. So diode acts as a short in this case. So the diode is therefore short circuit for region of conduction. Okay, now we'll see the reverse value of the reverse resistance, reverse bias resistance RR. What do you mean by the reverse bias resistance? Will be the reverse voltage upon the reverse current. Okay, now here the reverse bias voltage will be there, the reverse bias voltage, but the current is not flowing since the diode is the reverse bias, so this will be 0. So 1 over 0 is infinity, so infinity ohm. So the reverse bias resistance, so this is diode reverse resistance. What happened? The reverse resistance is infinity, therefore the diode will act as an open circuit in this case. Diode is therefore open circuit. So let's do the biasing of the diode. The biasing of the diode, the first one is no bias. So your VD will be equal to 0. As you can see here, VD is equal to 0. Now here in the PN, this is the PN junction diode, this is the P-type and this is the N-type material. The N-type material, we have the majority carriers as the electrons, majority carriers, and the minority carriers as the holes. And these are the donor atoms. And here these are the acceptor atoms. And you have this as the majority carriers. The holes are the majority carriers in the P-type, and the electrons are the minority carriers. So now when we apply when there is no bias applied to the diode, what will happen? There will be no flow of current in any direction, so diode current will be equal to 0. Here we'll be doing the reverse bias condition. Reverse bias condition, your supply voltage is less than 0. Less than 0 in the sense your P-type is connected to the negative terminal and the N-type is connected to the positive terminal. As a result, what will happen? All the holes will be attracted to the negative terminal and the electrons from here will be attracted to the positive terminal. And as a result, the depletion region will be widened, and there will be there will be a barrier. There will be a great barrier for the majority carriers to pass through. However, the minority carriers can enter the depletion region, and that leads to a minority flow, that is IS, which is approximately equal to minus 0.1 microamperes. So now here you can see in the reverse bias from the figure, I have drawn here figure. So the reverse bias occurs in this case. So this is the reverse bias in which you are having only a minority carrier which will be a constant. Okay, there will be no current flowing in the there only the minority carrier will be flowing. That is due to the minority carriers. Okay. The next is the forward bias condition. In forward bias condition, what happens is that our voltage VD is greater than 0. Okay, and it's greater than 0. What will happen is that how is the circuit connected? The P-type will be connected to the positive terminal and the N-type will be connected to the negative terminal. In this case, what will be happen is that the P-type will repel. Since it is positive, the P-type will repel and enter into the N-type. In N-type, electrons will repel from here and enter into P-type. Thus, there will be a shrinking of the depletion region. The depletion region, as you can see, as compared to the reverse bias, it has become smaller because here there is a conduction of current, and here your ID will be present. Now here you can see the current is starting. It is equal to 0. At a sudden, after the barrier is lost. Okay, so after the barrier is lost, the current is increasing by peak. So this is the forward bias condition in a diode. Forward bias condition, what will be your VD here? The VD in forward bias will be greater than 0 volts, and ID will be greater than 0 milliamperes. Okay, so that's it for this video. If you like the video, please like the video, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you.